Hello, I'm Mylen Calienes, also known as the Maycal. Welcome to my channel. This is the Maycal Wellness, Culture, and Films. And just in the titles alone, you'll know what you'll be getting. But it's all about self-empowerment and telling yourself your own story. I come from movie making. I produce movies. I direct. I've also acted in films. I'm very well rounded uh, in the storytelling world when it comes to filmmaking. Even though we're always growing, learning, and evolving, I believe that's what life is about. You're always growing, learning, and evolving. I've been in the entertainment industry for more than 20 years and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and I'm still evolving. But because of my personal journey in the past few years, starting obviously also with the pandemic, which affected pretty much all of us, I was dealing with extreme anxiety and also depression. And it was very, very hard to be able to do everything that I wanted to do when we were coming out of the pandemic. Just getting back to work and getting back to my regular routine was a challenge. My mind was racing, my body was exhausted. I was just dealing with way too much, and it was just very hard for me, you know, to be present in other ways when I wasn't even present with myself. It wasn't until one day my body collapsed. I ended up in the hospital, and that was my wake up call. And in order to be able to step away from the anxiety and the depression, I had to make the first choice to do that. It always starts with you, and you're able to do that yourself too. Um, it's very hard at the beginning, I know, and I'm there for you and I understand. But you truly have to make that choice, and it usually takes darkness to come into the light. That's happened to me, not just this once. I've been through this before in my life as well. It's going through that darkness to step into the light, but then what is it that you're going to be falling back on? I don't do drugs, I don't drink alcohol, so I don't have those crutches to fall back on. I had no choice but to wake up and to find myself. I had no choice to make that decision that I did not want to deal with this anxiety and this depression that was fighting against me. The first thing I did was seek professional help. Uh, I got a therapist because it starts with the mind. Um, then when I went into fixing my physical, because I had also gained a lot of weight during the pandemic with the anxiety, maybe I don't do drugs or alcohol, but food ended up becoming a crutch. There's lots of different kinds of crutches. Um, I got a personal trainer. A personal trainer taught me how to exercise, especially because I had foot injuries around that time that made it harder for me to do certain regular things, regular exercises and stuff. So he taught me how to get back on my feet until my body got strong again. And I seek the help also of a professional nutritionist that taught me how to eat properly. And all of these elements, making the decision of seeking professional help. Also, I would say that a lot of what helped me out was being creative. I went back to school. That took my mind out of a lot of things. I believe that helped with my anxiety. I went back to school. I went to take a directing class. I was remotely taking a screenwriting class. I even got into creative writing, and that was very much part of my healing journey. But it started with the mind. It starts right here. This is the first thing you have to fix before anything else. This is where it started. Once I felt like my mind was in a better place, I started back to getting physically fit and strong. And then I went also at the same time, I started eating healthy. I cut sugar. I started eating healthy. I lost the weight that I wanted to lose. Um, and I even noticed by cutting sugar how much it just helped my overall health. Um, Then I went into my spiritual health, and my spirit. There was a time even that I was creatively paralyzed because I also went through some losses. Uh, but going through my spiritual health, that helped me find myself again, and it got me creative again. It just got me creative in a different way. I brought out some oracle cards and affirmation cards I had from the first spiritual awakening I went through in my life, after also going through another type of dark moment. And I was looking at them. I was looking at the pictures. They all have different types of beautiful artwork and pictures. And I saw the pictures, and I just would look at it and see how it would make me feel. And that's something that I learned in cinema. When you make movies is about moving an audience, and it's about making an audience feel. Artwork, visual artists also do the same thing. When you look at a piece of artwork, how does that make you feel? So I would look at the pictures on the cards and see how it would make me feel. At the same time, read the words of affirmation. At the same time, read the powerful messages that were beautiful, were inspiring. And then in that journey, I said, I'm very passionate about the American Latino voice. I'm bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. I wanted to find cards that were bilingual as well, and I couldn't find any, so I decided to create my own. And with that, since the way I write has a little bit of a wit to it, I said, why don't I write something inspirational using my voice and putting in a little bit of that wit? And the first deck that I created was this one, the Oracle of Clarity and Chisme. It's all in the title right there. Chisme in Spanish means gossip, and in this case, gossip. Chisme is the little voice that talks inside of you, because with the cards, my intention was to go within, to connect with my inner voice, and to let that voice speak to me louder than anything else. So that was very important to me. And out of my healing journey, I created these cards. And I created them for me, but then I started sharing them with friends, and they found them to be special, and they thought that I should also share it with everybody else. And this is why I decided to open up this channel, to be able to share with you my cards and, my lessons. Maybe that connects with somebody out there. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a professional healer. But I'm a human being, and I believe in our spirit. I believe in our soul. I believe in wellness. I believe in purpose. And if I could help you step into a better you, I'm happy to do that. I believe it's about storytelling. It's about telling yourself your own story. And with my decks, I hope that, it just helps you think about your story and think about how you feel and how each word makes you feel, what each statement has to tell you. Because the only thing that I've discovered when I do this in person with friends is that they pull a card, it resonates with them, and then they start talking to me and they tell me how it resonates with them. And I don't ask them to share with me their story, but they do. So it's a beautiful thing that you're not only telling yourself your own story, maybe you're sharing your story with somebody else. And you could tell your own story so you could have a positive, beautiful, loving light inside of you. That's more of what we need, and that's more of what we need to be surrounded by. And it's okay to not be surrounded by heavy, dark energy. It's okay to not be surrounded by people that don't want to make that change within themselves, and that is their journey. But this time, take care of you. Start your own journey by telling your own story, and what story is that you want to tell yourself. Feel like pulling a card, so here we go. And this one is Reina Sin Permiso. Some of them are a little bit of a wild cards. Reina Sin Permiso, it means queen without permission. You don't need to shrink to be loved or dim to be respected. Your divine feminine energy isn't too much. It is the blueprint. You're not here to beg, explain, or make yourself smaller to fit into a space you've already outgrown. Amen to that. How does that make you feel? Tell yourself you're that reina sin permiso. You're that queen without permission, baby. And I've also created a deck for guys mostly. It's called Inner Work Looks Good on You, Bro. Kind of similar to this one, the Oracle of Clarity and Cheeseman, with very powerful messages, which I think you guys will like. And I also have a deck of affirmation cards, Hoops and Healing, which I love. I love my Hoops and Healing affirmation cards. So if you look at my channel, you'll get to taste a little bit of all of them. And remember, tell your own stories. Don't give up on yourself. You're the number one person you shouldn't give up on: yourself.